You are tuned into Peaches and Power Bombs. What's going on, guys? I'm Sarah Hirsch. Tina Miller's on my other side, and we are glad to be back after a little hiatus.
Yes, thank you so much for being patient with me, Sarah, while I was down literally on my back.
No
So
problem, no problem.
that
Been
was not
there,
fun.
done that.
Thankfully, I'm feeling better. Still going to the chiropractor every couple days, but we're getting
hmm
there. So,
Yeah, and being that it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I did wear my Cesaro breast cancer shirt.
oh, yay.
Yes, and you know, well wishes to those who are battling breast cancer and have survived breast cancer and on. My godmother, well, my aunt, she's currently going through treatment and she's been doing good. So fingers crossed. And I also have a classmate named Melanie. She's a year younger than me that recently just got diagnosed. So
Oh, bless her heart.
prayers and fingers crossed for her too.
Absolutely. And breast cancer is very prevalent in my family. I've had four of my dad's aunts have had it, and three of
hmm
them have passed away from it. One of them,
Mm.
thankfully, survived, and I think both of my great grandmothers died of breast cancer as well. So,
Oh wow.
and one of my best friends died of it too. So,
Mm.
it's very sad.
Yes, and cancer's
Everyone,
nothing to
please go
play
get
with.
your checkups. Please go get your checkups.
Check your tatas. That's what they say on social media.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but yeah, that's why I decided to be pink today. Being that we haven't really recorded recently, so
Mm-hmm.
with all that being said, our topic today we're gonna talk about Crown Jewel. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about our reaction to it, our thoughts, and if time allows, we'll probably touch on some other stuff. And we will also have a little something something to tell y'all too. But we'll get to that in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yep. Let's get down to business first.
All right.
All right, we're just gonna start with the main card and just go down the list here.
Okay.
So Crown Jewel started off with a banger with the Hell in
Okay.
the Cell with Seth Rollins versus Edge. Sarah, did you see this part? Did you see
Now,
it?
I was just about to say that I'm going in blind because I have not watched Crown Jewel. I caught
Oh
up on every,
man.
I caught up on everything else but Crown Jewel. So
Okay.
but yeah, I mean I have an opinion. So
Okay. Well, that's all right. That's all right. This was probably the match of the night.
hmm
It wasn't the story of the night, but it was the match of the night. It was it was very fun to watch.
well,
Um,
leading up to it, it's been really intense and personal. So,
yeah,
um, and with stuff, with storylines that are that intense and stuff, of course, it needs to culminate at Hell in a Cell because this is the end all to
right,
all matches, pretty
right.
much. And I think Seth Rollins and Edge they capitalized on something that happened in several years ago, 2014. Um, Leading up to it, from what I've seen, I've enjoyed it. Um, Seth is so obnoxious, but he's so good at it.
Yeah, yeah. I think before with his Messiah stuff and his burn it down stuff, I think he wasn't really being himself. And now I don't know this drip thing with him
Oh
just coming
Jesus!
out being a complete cheese ball. I think that just it to me it seems like it's 100% Seth Rollins, and I'm finally getting to see who he is, because that was one
hmm
of my criticisms of him before, is like, I don't
No
know who Seth
personality.
Rollins is. Who
Yeah.
is he? He just comes out there, goes burn it down, bam bam, and goes home, and I'm like, I'm not invested in him. So
hmm I
I
can
like him now.
understand
So
that, and I think I thought I didn't think he didn't have any personality. I think he did, but I definitely see that he's having fun now with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like he had to be a certain character. And I liked the whole Messiah thing. I thought it was funny. and
Yeah, there was some of it that was just a little too much for me, but
I always kind of wanted to see that different side of the Shield because I was like, I know that was probably a hoot traveling together with them three.
mm-hmm.
They all
Yeah,
have distinct personalities, and
yeah, they do.
so I think, I think now that we're kind of talking about it, seeing Seth's fun side, it's actually refreshing. I know
Mm-hmm.
I roll my eyes when he comes out. I'm like, oh, Jesus, but but you know
What suit is he
that's his
gonna
job,
come out in
entertain.
next?
Yeah, I'm like,
So
Becky,
crazy.
get your man. Gosh, he's looking crazy. Do
Well,
something with
she's
him.
she's coming out looking crazy herself, so it's she's not much of a help in that situation.
Like sometimes I see the stuff he wears, and I'm like, who dressed you? If it was you, you don't need to dress yourself. So,
Oh
but
man,
I take it. I think Edge won, right?
that is correct.
Edge. I mean, I just ever since he first started, I followed him and just
Mm-hmm.
um having to come back from the neck injury and everything. I
Yeah,
think he's better than ever, and he was
yeah, he's
great then. He
great.
is great now, and I really, when the whole SummerSlam thing came around and he kind of did the thing with the Brood, I was like, yes, yes. I love the callback. So that was not because it's been so long ago, and he was like had that dark side, and he was with the
Mm-hmm.
ministry and all that. So I really like to call back to that. Um, I, and I think this is one of those that whoever won, it didn't hurt nobody.
Yeah,
They're both great in their own right.
yeah.
So
It didn't. Edge winning did nothing to Seth Rollins. I mean,
of course not.
it was a long feud, and Seth did get a win on Edge,
Hmm.
so it's not like he didn't get anything out of it, and it just brought Seth Rollins up even more.
The one thing I thought about too is, there was many variations to this feud. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, the title opportunity and all that. So I think that as the feud went on, there was something else coming on, and Seth was always like that pain in the butt that was right there to annoy you, And
Yep. Yep.
I think that really worked out for them too,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, okay, I'm getting tired of you. You got to go.
So I'm gonna put you down once and for all in this Hell in a Cell, and
Hmm.
they did. They killed it. So
Good, good.
yeah. These first two matches I had to watch on silent because I was out eating with Adam. So I
Hmm.
didn't like hear any of the commentary or like get the whole total picture.
I
Especially with
got
this
you.
next match, I only saw the ending. So it's
Uh
gonna we're gonna have a lot of fun with that one. So we'll just breeze over it real quick. Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali.
oh.
Um,
Okay.
the little bit I saw was really good. And I think Mansoor, if they would do something with him, he would be a super baby face.
Oh, he's already a super baby face on Twitter. Did you see how he slammed Ryback? It was great.
No.
Basically, Ryback criticized him
For
as basic.
what?
I think it was basically said something about he went over or something like that, and all Mansoor did a retweet of his little poll that he did. Which brand should I go to? And the what was in the
72.
lead was retire. That's all he retweeted, and I was like, okay, enough said. That means whatever you
Put him
said,
in back
Ryback,
in
is
his place.
invalid.
Ryback was never over.
No.
They just like people just like saying feed me more. It was never about him.
Oh, geez. Alex, when he was a kid, when he was a little boy, yeah, he was all about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah,
seriously.
he never did anything for me either.
But yeah, he had said something along the lines of him not being over, and all he did was did that little retweet of the poll. I was like, well,
Yeah.
enough said. He didn't have to say anything. He kind of put his foot in his mouth on that one.
Yeah, and I was super happy for these two because it was the first time I think two Muslims were on a pay-per-view, like
Oh wow,
just
okay.
them together in a match on a pay-per-view, and they
Mhm.
got to do that overseas,
Yeah.
so that was
I
nice.
mean,
And
it's not really their home turf, but that speaks volumes being in a country
yeah.
like Saudi Arabia. So,
Hmm.
um, I've always liked Mustafa Ali.
He's a
I
class
really,
act.
yeah, he looks like he seems like he's such a nice guy and everything. And when they had him as the leader of Retribution, I thought it was a great move, but ultimately that was it. The whole concept of it was already ruined. So I
Hmm.
felt like it was a attempt to save it, but at that point everybody was like, we know who these guys are. Y'all act like y'all don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And it kind of killed it, but it was like a great idea, but it was it was already dead before then, so like it kind of had little to no effect, unfortunately. But with
Hmm.
that being said, he did good work during that.
Yeah,
Did what he
yeah, he
could.
did.
So,
He did what he could. They just set it up for failure, and it was
yeah,
really
absolutely.
just nothing he could do with it. And I really don't think anyone could have saved that. I don't even think The Rock could have saved that. So, I mean,
That's a tall order, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, The Rock didn't save Roman that one time at the Royal Rumble, so
Yeah, he definitely isn't bulletproof. So,
yeah, no, he's not. That's okay. This was the the 3 minutes I saw of this match was good. So,
okay.
and kudos to
Yeah,
them
they're
too.
definitely building Mansoor up to be somebody pretty special, pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what they did with the Great Khali
Yeah,
in terms of being like a brand ambassador type of thing. I think that's
yeah,
where they're
and
kind
that's
of aiming
fine.
with it. Mhm.
That's fine. And Mansoor can actually wrestle, so there's that too.
Yeah, that's always a win.
Yeah. Okay, this was probably my favorite part of the entire night.
Oh, you sent me that text. Oh my
Oh
god, it's
man,
so funny.
it was the greatest thing in the world. RK Bro versus Styles and Omos. It really has nothing to do with the match, but Riddle
Riddle.
coming out there on that camel.
I can just see
Rusev.
him just enjoying himself on. I
Rusev
saw the
coming out into
pictures.
the tank. That's cool. All of Undertaker's entrances. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Best entrance ever in the history of the business. Riddle on the on the camel.
Heck yeah. Who could say they've done that? Nobody.
Nobody, nobody. He's the very first. And Randy Orton's face the entire time as they're coming down that ramp was just gold. He sold it so well. He's just like the entire
That's
time,
why
just
I
like,
love these two so much, because they seem like they're polar opposites, and it's just
yeah,
like
they are. And just when I think that this is getting a little old and they need to freshen up something, this happens, and I'm like, okay, I'm still okay with this. This needs to happen.
hmm. Yeah, and I was telling somebody, I said, RK Bro is one of the reasons why I entertain Raw, because
Hmm.
it's easily the best thing. I love it.
It is. It's the best thing on that show.
I don't like Riddle that much. But
I
with
don't
this,
either.
I'm like, he's one of my favorite people on Raw. How does that happen? It's usually the opposite.
But really, who could really get by with coming to the ring on a camel though? Who is silly enough in order to pull that off?
Maybe the New Day?
The New Day, okay, the New Day, but
Yeah. But yeah, Riddle, that was actually pretty genius.
yeah, it was.
Cause like we don't have camels. So that was
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. He was like, forget the scooter for one night. If it turned out that camel's name was Scooter, that would have been even
Oh my
better.
god. Oh god, that would be hilarious. Watch, we'll see something on Wrestling Inc. about that, and I'm gonna be like, Tina!
Backstage news: the camel's name was Scooter.
Oh boy. Maybe it'd be his honorary name. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be. It really should be. And the match itself was good. Styles, AJ is good at everything.
Of course.
Randy Orton, good at everything.
Of course.
The spot I think where he did the RKO when I think there was a spot where Styles was going for the phenomenal forearm and Randy hit the
Ooh,
RKO on him during that. So that was cool.
nice.
Omos tries, bless his heart. He's just he's so big. It's hard to I don't
Well,
know.
he's still
He's still
oh
learning.
yeah. I mean, can you imagine the learning tree of AJ Styles that he gets to sit under like every
Yeah,
day?
I know. Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure it
That's a
helps
hell of
him
an
a little bit,
opportunity.
but it will be really hard for AJ to teach him how to move like a big man when he's not.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe Taker will coach him a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
mean
I
there's
don't know.
always room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But almost I mean he's just looking at him, you're like, oh god, he looks like
Yeah, yeah.
he's
He
big
looks
and
scary,
scary. Yeah.
and I definitely don't think that he would do well on his own yet. A lot of people are like AJ Styles needs to break off and be a singles competitor again, and I kind of agree with that. But on the other hand, it would really hurt Omos, so I understand what they're doing. But
Yeah.
I would like to see AJ go for like a singles title run
Mhm.
again before he retires because he is 44. So you never know when that's going to
Mhm.
be.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously RK Bro won.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and
Um,
they need to move on to a different team. Dear God, please.
yeah.
The Street Profits coming over to Raw. More than likely going to happen.
I
So,
think it'd be some good stuff with them.
oh
I love
man,
Street Profits. Oh,
I want to
God.
see how silly it can get between Riddle and Montez Ford. So,
Oh yeah. Because
yeah,
Montez Ford has no chill.
no, he is. He's just pure charisma. That's all he is.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. I mean, he gives Christian a run for his money with Captain Charisma. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
he does. He does. He's awesome.
I
All
love
right,
him.
this next match, the Queen's Crown finals, Zelina
Hmm.
Vega versus Dewdrop. This match did not last long at all. I don't
I am not
remember
surprised.
I don't remember how long this match was. And I'm not faulting them putting it being Zelina Vega at all. I think she deserves this, okay? But the fact that yeah, the entire tournament, the Queen's Crown tournament, was only 19 minutes and 24 seconds. The
Mm-mm-mm.
whole thing. I don't
I
think
did.
one
I did
match
it.
lasted 5 minutes.
I did an article on Diva Dirt about it, and I feel like Queen's Crown was a great idea. This is something we all wanted. We've all wanted to see, and
Mm-hmm.
they really dropped the ball on this one. And
They
that's
did.
no disrespect to any of the competitors.
No, no,
Um,
no. It's not their fault at all.
absolutely, and you know, and the one thing that I did point out was it was kind of like mid card talent, pretty much
Yeah.
that they focused on. There was because all the main major ones, like Bianca Belair and Sasha, they were in the title picture, so you know that didn't leave room for them to try to compete for this, and that's probably a good thing. And yeah, they really dropped. WWE dropped the ball on this, and I really think I really think it could have been executed a lot better. And
Yeah.
but
And
with that, but yeah, that was like the biggest disappointment for me. And
mm-hmm.
I think Selena Vega, that was the right call in terms of the first Queen's Crown winner.
Right. And that's not taking away from her at all because
No.
I'm really happy for her. And she genuinely looked, you know, happy and, joyful about, grateful for what she
Yeah.
got.
Oh, yeah,
And I don't
absolutely.
really have a problem with it being focused on the mid card talent because that was the whole point, but they didn't do
Yes.
anything with it. There was no
It
story. I
was
mean,
like,
and I'm
yeah,
not
and it
saying they
was,
have to write this big elaborate thing, but pro wrestling ain't that hard to figure out. Just try to
mm-hmm.
sell the finish or something. I mean,
And it was just an afterthought. And, it was an afterthought, and then SmackDown had WWE had the nerve to do a supersized SmackDown. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And
mm-hmm.
y'all, the most y'all could do for Selena Vega and Carmella was 3 minutes. I'm like, you got to be
You at
kidding me.
least do 5. Good gracious.
6 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
jeez. You know, I mean, if the match was that short, I could see somebody doing a cheap finish, right? And
Yeah.
but it's like, okay, well, go out there, do what you got to do, and then be out of there in X amount of time. And it's like, it was a complete step backwards in terms of this whole women's evolution thing. I'm glad they
Mm-hmm.
did the Queen's Crown. I'm glad Selena Vega won. I'm glad that it focused on mid card talent. They just dropped the ball because now when
Mm-hmm.
they do another one, we're gonna be like, why?
Right.
Because
You don't
you
care
know
about it, so why?
yeah, it WWE didn't care about it, and like I said, no disrespect to anybody,
Mm-mm.
because I'm glad they had a chance to compete, despite what was against them. So, congratulations to Selena Vega. She's one of my
Absolutely.
favorites.
Mm-hmm.
She is a hidden gem. I wish they would do more with her and
Yeah.
let her win some good like some monumental matches.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked her from when she was Rosita in TNA on. So,
Yeah.
I'm happy for her, and I really hope there's redemption with this. They make her a legible contender instead of having her lose all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Unfortunately, if your name is not Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bianca, or Bailey, forget about it. Just the way it seems right now.
Yeah,
Hopefully that'll change someday
maybe.
because people are going to get tired of seeing the same four people.
Yeah,
Moving on, this one surprised me. No holds barred, which also construed of false count anywhere. They threw that in. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Goldberg spears Bobby Lashley into the table at ringside and gets the win. However, Goldberg brought it, and he was more physical than I've ever seen him, ever. I
that's a
was
surprise.
pleasantly surprised. This was awesome. This was the
Okay.
best Goldberg match I'd ever seen.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It only took 20 years, but
Oh, that's it.
wow,
Yeah.
I thought it would be a straight up battle. I guess not.
Don't mess with a man's son, I guess.
No, jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He went for the kill, I guess.
Poor Bobby Lashley. So
Yeah.
Hurt Business wasn't even involved or nothing.
I think there was a little bit.
Oh,
There
there
was a
was?
little
Okay.
bit of altercation. Yeah. I think Goldberg beat them up though or something. I don't
Uh,
remember exactly what
can we
happened
go?
there.
Let's point this out right quick. I'm glad that they brought the Hurt Business back, but why did they do it in the first place? It's kind of weird, but hey, they're back. That means TV time, and I get to adore Shelton Benjamin for his amazing ring work. So,
Yeah. I guess it's
so
better than doing
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, that's a surprise. Goldberg won the way he did.
Yeah, yeah. I expected Goldberg to win, but I did not expect him to get that physical because there was a lot of things.
Mm. So Bobby Lashley just, well, in something like that, maybe I don't know if that hurts Bobby or not. Bobby's had a
No.
good 2021, and they finally had gotten him right. I really hope that they continue that because I love the fact that MVP is his mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bobby says a little bit, but I really like this side of Bobby Lashley, and
Yeah, I do too.
hopefully that continues after the Goldberg massacre. So,
It wasn't a massacre. It was back and forth.
oh, it was okay.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't just one sided. I was just impressed that Goldberg was that physical because I had never seen it before.
Mm, yeah, well,
And this doesn't have to hurt Bobby Lashley if they don't let it.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I mean,
I can agree with that.
Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in what 10 seconds, whatever it was, 30 seconds, and that did nothing. So
No,
I mean, really, if you look at it with that mindset, the like stay in that storyline thing, Goldberg is formidable because he beat Brock Lesnar in however seconds and had that big long streak back in WCW, and he's this big tough you know
in
dude.
other words, the
So
reputation precedes him.
yes, exactly. So it doesn't have to hurt Bobby Lashley if they don't let it. Of
Right.
course, you never know because what happened to Kevin Owens. So
Yes.
still upset about that a little bit.
Me too.
Okay.
Some things we can't let go.
Yeah. Poor Kevin Owens. Moving on. This was so cool. King of the Ring, Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor. Good match from both of them. And Mr. Woods finally gets his time in the spotlight. And
Oh, I love it.
he is King of the Ring, had his nice little coronation on SmackDown Friday night.
I watched
And
that.
I was so surprised. No one interrupted, no fights, no one beat him down, nothing. They gave him his moment, Sarah. That never happens.
I
They never give anybody
know.
their moment. So,
I, you could tell Xavier was extremely emotional.
mm-hmm.
Before they kind of had King of the Ring as an afterthought, it was a big deal. And
Yeah, it used to be.
yeah, and it was always something. It was kind of like prestigious in a way, and the fact, so like what obviously Xavier Woods did not take this lightly. I love the fact that they gave
Mm-hmm.
him something such as King of the Ring, and I heard that his match with Finn Balor was really good.
It
Um,
was.
it was one of those where I didn't care who won. I think both of them, both of them had a
Mm-hmm.
legitimate shot.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy for Xavier because he really is living his dream and living his best life, and it's kind of like one of those rare things to me for WWE to allow that.
Right.
So, but yeah, I love that Xavier was taking in the entire moment. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can just
He
tell he
was.
was just letting it, soaking it in, and it just kind of made me feel like I was 12 again. Like, oh my god, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm happy for him, and
Me
I
too.
talked to my nephew about it last night. He's like, Kofi's going to turn on him. I said, why? He's like, he's king of the ring, and Big E's the champion. Kofi don't have anything. I said, if that actually happens, I'm gonna have to call him and be like, look, I'm gonna need you to stop. So,
It's an
but yeah, I'm
interesting
happy for him.
it's an interesting thought, but I really think that those three do not need to turn on each other.
No, mm-mm. I mean, if they haven't broke up by now. They don't need to.
No, no, because they would have done it at the beginning when Kofi first won the title. So,
In this modern era, the New Day is hands down the best story to me. You
mm-hmm.
know, I mean, what could have started as awful, they made it into something
Mm-hmm.
even bigger. Everybody is everybody has their own accomplishments now. They've had
Yep.
they have record number title reigns and days and stuff like that. So, it's hands down the best story to come out of the modern era to me, and I
It
can't be
is.
happier for them because, um, I've met Kofi twice, and he is the nicest guy, the
And
nicest guy.
I've met Xavier, and
Oh
he's,
yeah,
yeah, he's really sweet.
yeah. I haven't
Just
met him or Biggie, but Kofi is just the sweetest person, and
mm-hmm.
so when he had won the title, I just straight cried because I was like, "Oh my god, nobody deserves it more." He was such a nice guy. The both
Mm-hmm.
times I met him, and he actually remembered me. So I was like,
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah. So I just the new day is it just it keeps going, and I think it keeps getting better. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy for these guys. Like I'm so happy for these guys. I mean, especially with Biggie as champion right now, it's like nobody has anything bad to say. That's great. I love
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yep. Just a good feel good moment. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have, in wrestling terms, have had a problem with Finn Balor winning either, but I would have been a little sad just because I knew that Xavier Woods wanted it so bad, and I would have felt
Yes.
really bad for him.
Yes. It's kind of
So
one of those things that WWE actually got right.
yeah, they
So I'm happy
they don't
for them.
go for the sympathetic win very often. So
No, and I think things like Woods is the reason why we love pro wrestling, the emotional aspect of it.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because they
that
were kids at one
connection.
time. They followed this and they're living their dreams, and
Yeah,
it's a beautiful always you can't go wrong with a beautiful story like that. You just can't.
no, no, you can't. Still speaking on the New Day, WWE Championship match, Big E versus Drew McIntyre. This was probably the best traditional match on the card. It was really
Okay.
good. Big E really did showed and proved that he deserves the main event spot. So
That's
this was
great.
great. Good
Drew's a
match.
proven main eventer and he's always
Mm-hmm.
been a great wrestler. So
Yeah.
when you say that it was the best traditional match, I 100% believe you because I was like, I
Yeah.
bet they tore it down, boy.
They did. They did. It was, I was expecting it to be good, but I wasn't expecting to like be following it the entire time because you know how sometimes you'll be like, oh yeah, and then you're like playing around and then just kind of glancing at it. I was watching it the whole way through without taking
Yeah,
my eyes off, so it was really good.
good.
Drew
I'm
McIntyre
glad
just
Drew's
needs
on
a,
SmackDown. He needs the breath of fresh air, and
yeah, he
that's not his
does.
fault in any way.
No,
Um,
get rid of
I
that
really
sword.
hope. With that being said, I hope he is champion again one day, like with
Mm-hmm.
fans. Um, because he did a great job last year, and
Yeah,
he's a formidable opponent, always has been, and I I'm ready to see him versus Roman. I think that'd be fantastic
I
because
think it would be
they're
too.
both like the same size, and
Yeah, they had a match at Survivor Series last year, I
they
believe.
did.
I think so. Wasn't it them two? Or was it Bobby Lashley by then?
No,
No, no, it was Drew. It was Drew. The
it
Survivor
was
Series
Drew.
match.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good match. But this will be more
Oh, when they meet
interesting.
again, it'll be probably
It'll be
just
more
as good.
interesting because Drew will be actually going for Roman's title. So and
Okay, yeah.
so
There's more to it now, so yeah,
yeah.
automatically that fact there, you're like, this is gonna be really good. So
Mm-hmm. And Big
I
E
can't believe
versus
I forgot
Roman.
they wrestled a Survivor Series.
And
Did
Big
I
E
even
versus
watch it?
Roman's going to be good too.
Oh yeah. They're
I'm
real
looking
life
forward to
friends too,
that.
so I like to
Yeah.
see how that happens.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, anything else on this or we want to move on?
We can move on. Good for both guys.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm glad Big E retained. I think Drew needs a fresh start on SmackDown.
Yeah, he does.
So, but yeah, I think his confrontation with Roman over on SmackDown will be inevitable now that we're entering Survivor Series season and then we're going to enter Royal Rumble season. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Now, while we're talking about this next match, we'll also talk about the news that broke out about two of the competitors yesterday.
Yes.
The SmackDown Women's Title triple threat match: Becky Lynch versus Sasha versus Bianca Belair. This was really a good match too. Probably the best female match that's ever been done over there. Of course, there's only been a handful, but still,
Well, these three you can't go wrong. Both of them
no.
were excellent in their own right.
Yeah, yeah. Bianca, did you see the clip of Bianca holding Sasha up in the air and
Yes.
then dropping one of her hands and holding her with just one hand?
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. That girl, I swear.
I love her. Oh
Me
gosh,
too.
I want nothing but the best for Bianca because I mean she live. I mean she talks her trash and backs it up 100%.
Mhm. Yeah, she does.
She looks great in the ring, and just she had a feel good moment too. We don't like the way she lost the title, but with that being said, I
I
hope
don't.
on Raw she it's in due time she's gonna take the title off
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Becky now. Now
Hmm.
it's Becky.
Oh, Becky, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah,
See, I'm
because we're
I'm
going to
still.
go into all that debacle because that was just a plain out mess.
That's right. Yeah.
And I sympathize with both women because I understand where they're both coming from. Did you hear what happened?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Charlotte, for anyone who doesn't know, Charlotte was not liking the choice of doing a title swap. She hated that idea. In fact, she wanted to, report says, she wanted to drop the title to Bianca the week before, and they decided
Hmm.
not to do that. And she was very upset about that. And she didn't want to do this. So her and Becky not getting along as far as this is going. And I think Charlotte was supposed to hand Becky her title, and she ended up just shoving it at her or something like that. And she drops it. And then at this
Charlotte,
point,
Charlotte went. When Becky went to grab the title, Charlotte pulled it back, and
pulled
it
it
was like
back.
she was
Okay.
trying to
That's right.
play with it. And from what it looked like, I think it may have been an accident that she dropped it.
Yes. Yes,
I think that
because
was an accident. It looked like an accident. I could be wrong, but that's what it seemed
she
like to
wasn't
me.
supposed to do the struggle thing, I think is what was um unscripted, and then Sonya telling her to pick it up was unscripted, because what else is she going to do? So she
Yeah,
has to pick it up, and then um I think Becky shoved the SmackDown Women's title at Charlotte. So that
yeah, kind of
wasn't,
threw it.
yeah, yeah, she wasn't happy about that.
It was definitely awkward. Yeah,
Was
I
that your
could.
mom?
No, it was
Okay.
just a stupid notification I always
Okay.
get. Um, but yeah, it did look awkward. I really, honestly, I think that was the case. Charlotte accidentally dropped it, and from there it just went downhill because,
Yeah.
and maybe Becky kind of improvised it or whatever, but still, it was just like that was awkward because
Yeah.
even if nobody noticed, Sonya's face gave it all away. Like she was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. Yeah. And then when Sasha came out is when everything got back on track, and they started doing things the way that they were supposed to do.
Hmm.
Um, when Charlotte got back to the back, they say that she did not speak to Vince McMahon. She just walked out and left, and he was not happy about that. Um, Reports are saying that Charlotte did not want to look weak, is why she didn't want to do this title swap. And I
Hmm.
can't say I blame her,
No,
but
I don't blame her either.
I can't blame Becky for being upset too, because she's being told what to do and someone's not complying and wanting to do the job, right?
Right.
So I can understand where both women are coming from.
Yeah,
One's
I
trying to be
think so.
professional and the other one wants to do her own thing, and I can understand why she wants to do her own thing. No one's listening to her, but at the same time, you're not the boss. It's Vince McMahon, and what it's his company, and what he says goes. So you need
Hmm.
to do it. I mean, it's not fun, and I don't blame her
Yeah.
for being mad. But
And with that being a title swap, I'm pretty sure neither one wanted to do it. But
no, it was
yeah.
awful. It's so. I
Scum.
really don't understand because they had two opportunities to do it the right way. They could have put the Raw Women's title on Bianca last Monday, and they could have put the SmackDown Women's title on Sasha at Crown Jewel, and all
Yeah.
of this would have been avoided. And who would have said, "Oh, Sasha, why does she get the title?" or "Oh, Bianca, why does she get the title?" No one would have said that. So
Yeah, it is be kind of like a, oh, well, we knew it was going to happen too. So I feel like in a situation like that, it was probably a no-win situation, but
yeah,
that's WWE for you.
yeah, they like to back themselves into a corner all the time.
Mhm.
Okay, let's have some fun because we are finally going to have the inevitable conversation that has been looming Peaches and Power Bombs since its inception. And we get to finally talk about it.
You see my face?
I'm going to take this off for just a second. Oh, man. Manny, he's a troublemaker.
You have Manny and I have Mina. Look, Manny and
Yep,
Mina.
yep.
Speaking of Mina, I have no idea where she is. Hopefully she's sleeping.
Oh man, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. No, 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 no. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the affections of Paul Heyman is more like it.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It just makes this so, just the fact that Paul Heyman's always conflicted. That's what makes the story compelling. You know, it's always
Yeah, it was gold the
Roman.
entire
You know, the
time.
whole thing with Paul and Roman and everything has been excellent, best thing
Mm-hmm.
on WWE. And now we have added some drama and confliction with Brock Lesnar coming out of the woods and decides, hey, I want to make some money and wrestle. Which I have to say, this has been kind of a gripping storyline because you're like, who's Paul going to align with?
Yep, yep.
It
The
is
whole
is
time, and we
I
still
think
don't know. That's
I
the
think
beauty
he's
of it.
playing both sides. He is
He
playing both
probably is.
sides. You're
Well,
the
he's
wise
Paul
man when I
Heyman.
say you're the wise man. Roman's got to stop with all that.
He's Paul Heyman has always been on the side of Paul Heyman. So,
Yes. Yeah, because that goes back. Doug always goes back to how he was before. Paul
mm-hmm.
Heyman's gonna look out for Paul Heyman in the end.
Yep.
In the meantime, we don't know what exactly he's doing.
No, but it's so fun to find out.
hmm
Okay, so the match itself was really good. Brock brought it. Okay, you can tell he's enjoying this. So when he's actually enjoying himself, he's at his best. And it was a really good match. It was very physical. Uh Roman did a spot where he did a dive over the top rope
Oh wow.
on Brock. Yeah. So, and Brock does Brock stuff and was very physical and things like that. And then there was this spot at the end. I don't understand. The finish was a little weird, and I
Yeah.
understand what they were doing. I just don't think it came off the right way. Um,
hmm
Paul throws in the title. Wait, no, no, I'll back up a little bit. Um, Brock picks Roman up for the F5. And while
hmm
he's swinging him around, Roman's foot hits the ref and the ref goes down. So there was a ref spot.
Okay.
And he goes to cover Roman, but of course, the
Nobody's
ref
there
is
to count.
out.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, what am I going to do? And then
hmm
Paul takes the Universal title and throws it. It's in the middle and between the two guys. So you don't know who he's talking to. He says, you know what to do with it. So both guys are going, Brock is saying, oh, he's talking to me. And then Roman, of course, is thinking, he's talking to me. So they both grab it, do a tug of war thing with it. But Roman eventually does get it away from Brock, hits Roman, hits Brock with it, and then he gets the win because another ref comes out. So it's still up in the air. Who is Paul Heyman with? So this
Yeah, I
story is
think the
continuing.
idea the idea was pretty genius.
Yeah, it just did.
Genius.
Just watching it, it just you didn't understand what was going on. So it's like this was a weird finish. But thinking about it afterhand, it
Mhm.
makes sense. It's just it looked a little odd.
Yeah. I really liked the opening of SmackDown, even though I complain about 20-minute promos. When it's Roman, I have no complaints whatsoever. He talked his stuff or whatever, and Brock came out, did his thing, and Adam Pearce suspended him, and Brock Lesnar kills him. Just
It was great.
Brock doing Brock things.
Yes, it was wonderful. I loved it.
Yeah, I know you did.
See,
somebody had a picture. When Adam Pearce had everybody come out, Cesaro and Brock Lesnar were kind of face to face there for a minute. And I'm like, if they actually let Cesaro do some wrestling with Brock, I think it could be good. I wish they
it would
would.
be good. It was funny. I saw a
Cesaro is one of
meme.
those that deserves a title, and they
Yeah,
just don't put it on
I
him.
saw a funny meme that said, Brock would, Brock's doing his stuff, and then Cesaro comes out there, and it shows like a little emoji of a guy in a suit, and he's like in a suit, and Brock goes, "Oh, sorry, man, I'm wild," and then he calms down because he calmed down right when Cesaro got in his face in his suit, and I
You
just
know
thought that
what?
was
That
funny.
might, yeah, and you know what? That might have planted a seed for in the future. I would hope, but you never know.
You never know. They don't do anything
Maybe the
intentional.
fans are making it bigger than what it has to
It
be. But
probably is.
in
It's just funny.
in that case, though, I would like to see it actually. So,
Yeah. Before we move on to what we're going to say, I want to talk about Adam Pearce for just a split second.
mhm,
I don't know if you know this, but Adam Pearce is a former NWA World Champion. He
mhm,
was NWA champion about 10 or 11, 12 years ago.
mhm.
And back then, NWA wasn't really, it was before they started kind of just doing their own thing and had their own show and stuff like that.
Right.
Actually, they had little individual promotions that were affiliated with the NWA,
Yeah.
and they traveled from place to place, like their world title, and they had a few others that they just defended across the country.
Mhm.
So when Adam Pearce used to come to Cornelia, Georgia, to the little local promotion that I used to love to go to when I was in my early 20s, it was such a big deal, and we loved to see him, and he was awesome. And then just for him to just be like totally ragdolled and his pants splitting was just like, it's like, because you think about that, but he's like, that doesn't exist in WWE world, but
Yeah.
it's still fun to think about.
Yeah. I wonder, like, when they were kind of teasing him wrestling a while back, I was like, oh, they might actually do it. He might
I would
actually
love,
do one
I would
more
love to see it.
one more match. But
One more.
apparently he's okay where he is. I mean, if he's
All
happy,
right.
then
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, we'll talk about. Do you want to talk about this past week's Dynamite, or do you want to just go ahead and give our information and
we'll go
hit
ahead and
on
do
it?
the information because I know you have to go, and
Yes.
but I
We
will
might
say
just do a
this.
separate episode later this week
Yeah.
about. Okay.
I will say this. If anybody hasn't watched Dynamite last night, you need to watch Dustin Rhodes and Brian Danielson. It was fantastic. I
Yes.
loved it. But
And
speaking of
prayers for Lance
Dynamite,
Archer. Prayers for Lance Archer, hoping he's okay.
yes. Oh God, I saw that. Oh God, it was awful. Um, so what we wanted to talk about, we're gonna probably do something. We're gonna probably do a little something, but Dynamite is coming to Atlanta December 1st. Well, they're coming to Lawrenceville or Duluth, but greater Atlanta area. This is where
Mm-hmm.
WWE used to come to before they started going to Phillips or State Farm. So um December 1st is Dynamite. Tina and I are going to meet for the first time, and we will, yes, we're so excited, and we will be going live for a little bit um at the arena. We're going to probably talk more about it, but we wanted to bring that up. We're going to meet. We're going to have some fun. Um, I know we'll have some friends there. I
Yep.
mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I got to find out who's all going. But I'm like, y'all, we're going to go live. We're going to hang
Mm-hmm.
out. We're going to have fun, and But yeah, Peaches and Power Bombs will be at Dynamite December 1st.
Woo!
We're so excited.
And this will be my first one since the pandemic, so I am
It'll be
going
my
to
second.
I'm going to fangirl it up, like the whole get
You
up.
gotta let it out. Like I had mine out a little bit, but I'm really gonna let it out because apparently, this won't. Hopefully, this Dynamite people won't be here and there. We'll probably see everybody, and we can
Mm-hmm.
fangirl it out. I might go in there and ask Kenny and Megan to marry me. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm so excited, especially CM Punk, Ryan
Mm-hmm.
Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see so many cool people.
Yep,
Like I'm excited. It's gonna be a great show. I already know, and
it is.
but yeah, we'll definitely keep y'all up the tabs on that. But we're definitely gonna have a party at that show
Yes,
that night. We're gonna have a great time.
we are. We are so excited about it. I can't stand it. So,
Yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait.
yep.
So,
All right,
all right,
guys.
go ahead, Tina. I'm sorry.
Like always, please like and subscribe to all of our social media accounts, as you can see scrolling down there. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will keep continuing to bring you all good content. You guys stay safe out there, and we will catch you later. See ya.
Peace out.